Last time we were talking about football legends like Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, but now we are going to talk about young professional and talented footballer Kylian Mbappé, who is now playing in National Football Club of French. He is making an excited record on his few ages, and he is shaping his future in a way which can motivate other young footballers. Today we are going to talk about the biography of him due to his achievements that he is displaying in the eyes of the world. Born on December 20, 1998, in the 19th arrondissement of Paris, Kylian Mbappé was reared in Bondy, Seine-Saint-Denis, a community that is 10.9 kilometers, 6.8 miles, outside of the city's center. His mother, Faiza Lamari, is of Algerian Kabyle descent and a former handball player, while his father, Wilfried, is originally from Cameroon and serves as both Mbappe's agent and football coach. Mbappé follows the Christian faith. Ethan, his younger brother, participated in 2018 for Paris Saint-Under-12 Germain's team. Jair's Kembo Ikoko, Mbappe's adoptive brother, plays professional football as well. Kylian Mbappé was seen as intellectually talented but disruptive when he was a young student at a private Catholic school in Bondy. His childhood heroes were Zinedine Zidane, Ronaldo Nazario, Cristiano Ronaldo, and others. He once received Robinho's number 70 shirt as a gift from the nanny he had while growing up, whose entire family was an AC Milan supporter. Mbappé, however, wanted to play for Real Madrid when he was little. In the game, he displayed skill and vision that most kids simply lack. His eyes are located at the rear of his skull. He has the ability to predict where the ball will land. Because there was no point in leaving him with children his own age, he never played for his appropriate age group here. Instead, he always played with older kids. Atman Arouche, CEO of AS Bondy, speaking about Mbappé as a youngster. Mbappé started out at AS Bondy under the guidance of Wilfried, his father. Antonio Riccardi, another of his youth instructors at AS Bondy, recalled, "I started coaching him when he was 6 years old. You could see that he was unique. In comparison to the other kids, Kylian was much more capable. He was already a superb dribbler and moved much more quickly than the rest. In my 15 years of coaching here, he was the best player I've ever seen. There are many talents in Paris, but I had never seen one quite like his. He fit the description of a crack, the best." He eventually transferred to the Clairefontaine Academy, where he put on a number of strong displays that prompted attempts to sign him from various French clubs as well as Real Madrid, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, and Bayern Munich. At Wilfried, his father, the first time I coached him, he was 6 years old, according to Antonio Riccardi, another of his youth coaches at AS Bondy. He was distinct, that much was clear. Kylian was far more capable than the other kids. He was more faster than the other players and already had outstanding dribbling. I've been coaching here for 15 years, and he was the best player I've ever seen. Although there are many talents in Paris, I had never seen one like his. He was what we refer to as a crack, the best. A number of French clubs, including Real Madrid, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, and Bayern Munich, attempted to sign him when he eventually transferred to the Clairefontaine Academy and put up a number of good displays. At Real Madrid asked Mbappé to train with their under-12 team and tour the club's facilities when he was just 11 years old. He went to London at the age of 14 to play for Chelsea's young squad against Charlton Athletic after receiving an invitation from Chelsea. In the end, he chose Monaco. 2015 to 2016, development in Monaco. Mbappé was recruited by Leonardo Jardim in October 2015 to be a mainstay in Monaco's B team, but after just 3 weeks, he was promoted to the first team due to his level of skill and maturity. He replaced Fabio Cointreau after 88 minutes of a 1-1 League One home tie against Caen 2 months later, on December 2, 2015. He thereby broke the record for the youngest first-team player in Monaco history at the age of 16 years and 347 days. The record held for 21 years by Thierry Henry. At the age of 17 years and 62 days, Mbappé became the youngest first-team striker in Monaco history on February 20, 2016, when he scored a stoppage-time goal in a 3-1 home victory over Troyes, unseating Henry in the process. Mbappé committed to Monaco for the duration of his first professional contract, a 3-year term, on March 6, 2016. 32, Vadim Vasiliev, vice president of AS Monaco, who was instrumental in getting Kylian Mbappé to sign his first professional contract with the Ligue 1 team, said in an interview with CNN that he had recognized Mbappé as a phenomenon from an early age. The first hat-trick of his debut team was scored by Mbappé on December 14, 2016, at the Stade Louis II, during a 7-0 thumping of Rennes in the Coupe de la Ligue round of 16. Since Sonny Anderson in 1997, no Monaco player has scored a hat-trick in the competition. At 18 years and 2 months old, Mbappé became the youngest player to score a Ligue 1 hat-trick since Jérémy Menez accomplished it for Sochaux back in 2005 when he scored his first hat-trick of his Ligue 1 career in the 5-0 home victory against Metz on February 11, 2017. Mbappé scored Monaco's second goal on February 21 with a half volley in the 40th minute after receiving Fabinho's long ball over the defense of the opposition. It was his first ever UEFA Europa League or UEFA Champions League goal. And overtook Karim Benzema as the second youngest French scorer in UEFA Champions League history, during Monaco's 5-3 loss to Manchester City in the first leg of the round of 16 match. On March 5, Mbappé scored twice in the first half of his team's 4-0 League One victory over Nantes, giving him 10 goals overall and making him the youngest player in the last 30 years to reach that milestone. In just 822 minutes of League One play, his 2 goals against Nantes on March 5 lifted his 2016-17 season total to 9 League One goals and 5 League One assists. He contributed a goal to the 2-1 league home victory on March 11. In his last 4 starts, he has scored 7 League One goals, including 1 against Bordeaux. In the 8th minute of Monaco's 3-1 victory over Manchester City, aggregate score 6-6, in the UEFA Champions League round of 16 seconds leg at the Stade Louis II on March 15, he made it 1-0 for Monaco by converting Bernardo Silva's close-range cross. Monaco advanced to the quarterfinals on the basis of away goals. Mbappé scored twice as Monaco defeated Borussia Dortmund 3-2 in the away leg of the quarterfinal match after winning a penalty. Mbappé scored the game's first goal in the second leg, which Monaco won 3-1 to progress to the semi-finals. Monaco was excluded from Juventus won the match overall, with Mbappé scoring the lone goal for Monaco in the second leg. As Monaco won the League One championship, Mbappé finished the 2016-17 campaign with 26 goals from 44 games across all competitions. Radamel Falcao, a fellow striker at Monaco, was a major influence on Mbappé throughout the season. Falcao gave Mbappé the freedom to express himself and taught him how to be calm and serene while playing, qualities Mbappé said he lacked. Edinson Cavani and Neymar each scored goals, with the latter outrunning a defender with a feint by rolling the ball under his foot. In a 3-1 loss to Bayern Munich on December 6, Mbappé scored his 10th Champions League goal, making him the youngest player to do so. Being 18 years, 11 months old. On May 8, 2018, after winning his first league championship with the team, Mbappé participated in PSG's 2-0 victory over Les Herbiers to win the 2017-18 Coupe de France. Mbappé received the number 7 shirt in July 2018 to replace Lucas Moura on the PSG roster for the next campaign. Mbappé wore the hashtag K7Leon and said, "I keep working to advance on the field, and I believe changing my number was the right move for me. It kind of acts as an affirmation. A lot of greats have donned the renowned number 7 shirt. I'm hoping I can perform this song properly on the field." And quote. Mbappé scored twice in the final 10 minutes of his first game of the year, a 3-1 victory for PSG over Guingamp in League One. The front three of Mbappé, Cavani, and Neymar scored in the league match that followed, defeating Angers 3-1 at home. Mbappé, who was making his season debut, scored on a volley and set up Neymar for the third goal. On September 1, he assisted and scored in a 4-2 victory over Nîmes on the road, but he also received a straight red card for the first time in his career after shoving Teji Savanier in retaliation for a late challenge from behind in which Savanier was also dismissed. Regarding his farewell, Mbappé said reporters following the game, "If I had a second chance, I would proceed in the same manner. I apologize to everyone and the fans, but I will not put up with this kind of behavior." And quote. Mbappé became the youngest player, 19 years and 9 months, to score 4 goals in a single game in League One during the course of the previous 45 seasons on October 8 when he scored 4 goals in just 13 minutes of play during his team's 5-0 home victory against Lyon. Mbappé won the Copa Trophy, which is given by France Football to the top player under the age of 21, for the first time on December 3. Mbappé and Cavani were the only players to score on January 19, 2019 hat-trick in a 9-0 victory over Guingamp, shattering the previous season's record established by PSG. He contributed a goal to a 2-0 victory over Manchester United on February 12 at Old Trafford in the round of 16. He reached his 50th goal for the team on March 2 by scoring twice in a 2-1 away victory over Caen. On March 6, PSG fell to Manchester United 3-1 at home and was eliminated from the Champions League based on the away goals rule. He scored 3 goals in a 3-1 victory over Monaco on April 21 to record his first goals against his previous team. PSG won League One at the end of the campaign, and Mbappé was named Player of the Year. With 33 goals, he was the season's leading scorer. On August 3, Mbappé scored in a 2-1 victory over Rennes to win the 2019 Trophée des Champions, his first trophy of the 2019-20 campaign. On August 11, he scored once more as PSG defeated Nîmes 3-0 at home in the team's opening League One game of the year. At the age of 20 years and 306 days, He became the youngest player to ever score at least 15 goals in the Champions League when he came off the bench and scored a flawless hat-trick in a 5-0 away victory over Belgian team Club Brugge on October 22. After the season was postponed, PSG was declared League One champions on May 1, 2020. Despite the COVID-19 outbreak, PSG was in first place and had a 12-point advantage over Marseille at the time the league was prematurely suspended. Mbappé and Wissam Ben Yedder of Monaco shared the League One scoring lead with 18 goals each for the 2019-20 campaign. Mbappé was given the honor of leading scorer, though, because of his superior goals per game ratio. On July 24, 2020, in the 2020 Coupe de France final against Saint-Étienne, Mbappé was forced off due to an injury after Loc Perrin's challenge, which resulted in Perrin being sent off. PSG won the game 1-0, but Mbappé was unable to play in the 2020 Coupe de la Ligue final, which PSG Champions League quarterfinal against Atalanta on 12 August, coming on a substitute, and assisting Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting's match-winning goal in injury time. PSG eventually lost out in the 2020 Champions League final 1-0 to Bayern Munich on 23 August. First time in his career. 3 days later, Mbappé scored once and assisted the second in the Coupe de France final against his former club Monaco as PSG won 2-0 to claim their first major trophy of the season. He ended the League One campaign with 27 goals, to become the top scorer for the third consecutive season, but PSG missed out on the league title. It was the first time in Mbappe's career where he did not win League One after 4 consecutive successes. Mbappé, member of the League One team of the season, he finished the season with the Player of the Year honor. On August 14, 2021, before Paris Saint-Germain's opener against Strasbourg, Mbappé received jeers from the crowd at Parc des Princes after rumors that he intended to join Spanish club Real Madrid. The Parisians won the game 4-2. Mbappé assisted in the creation of 3 of those goals. 6 days later, in a 4-2 victory away from home against Brest, he scored his first goal of the year. Lionel Messi made his PSG debut in the next game against Reims on August 29, and the Rouge et Bleu won 2-0 courtesy to 2 goals from Mbappé. At the City of Manchester Stadium on November 24, Mbappé scored in a 2-1 Champions League loss to Manchester City. He contributed 2 goals to a 4-1 Champions League victory over Club Brugge on December 7 at home. He became the youngest player in the competition's history to reach this milestone with the goals, which were his 30th and 31st in the Champions League. Mbappé scored twice against Monaco on December 12, 2021, to help PSG achieve a century of league goals. He became the youngest player to reach 100 goals for a single team in the French Premier Division since Opta started keeping track of statistics in the 1950-51 season at the age of 22 years and 357 days. Mbappé scored his first goal on January 3, 2022. Hat-trick in a 4-0 Cup of France victory over Vannes. On February 11, he beat Rennes 1-0 in the league with a goal in stoppage time. 4 days later, he defeated Real Madrid 1-0 in the first leg of the round of 16 of the Champions League. The second highest scorer in Paris Saint-Germain history. He added another goal in the return leg, but his club was eliminated after a 3-1 loss at the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium. I am certain that I can continue to develop here at a club that offers everything required to perform at the very best. I'm also excited to keep performing in France, where I was born and raised. Where I was born, where I was raised, and where I became famous. Kylian Mbappé on committing to Paris Saint-Germain in a new deal. Mbappé renewed his contract with PSG until 2025 on May 21, 2022, despite rumors of a potential transfer to Real Madrid, which led La Liga officials to protest to UEFA about the club's prior losses. Mbappé personally called Florentino Perez, the president of Real Madrid, and informed him that he would not be joining the team. The financial terms of Mbappe's contract, according to Sky Sports, include a monthly salary of PS4 million, making him the highest paid footballer in the world. Additionally, Mbappé and PSG reportedly obtained a signing on some in approximately PS 100 million. Mbappé finished the season with 28 goals to finish the season as the top scorer for the 4th consecutive season. He scored a hat-trick in a 5-0 win over Metz in the hours following the extension of his contract. He became just the 3rd player to lead League One in scoring 4 straight seasons. Mbappé finished the season with 17 assists as well, making him the first player in League One history to hold both the top scoring and assist positions. Season 2022-2023. After missing a penalty earlier in the game, Mbappé scored his first goal of the season for PSG on August 13, 2022, as PSG defeated Montpellier 5-2 at home. He got his first hat-trick of the year in a match 8 days later, defeated Lille on the road 7-1. 8 seconds later than Michel Rio's goal for Ganga against Caen in 1992, His first goal in the game was timed, making it the second fastest goal ever scored in Ligue 1. Mbappé scored twice on September 6 against Juventus in PSG's opening Champions League match, giving the Parisians a 2-1 victory at home. He scored a penalty on October 11 in a 1-1 Champions League tie against Benfica at home, becoming PSG's all-time best scorer in European tournaments with 31 goals. Although Mbappé dismissed the rumors, saying, "I'm extremely delighted," the game was played against the backdrop of media allegations that he intended to leave PSG in the January transfer window. Not every was asked to leave in January. The striker nearly single-handedly secured France's place in the 2016 UEFA European Under-19 Championship final with a brilliant performance in their 3-1 victory against Portugal in the semi-finals. Mbappé capped a strong debut senior season at Monaco by scoring 5 goals for France as they won the tournament. In March 2017, Mbappé received his first call-up to the France senior team in preparation for games against Spain and Luxembourg. On March 25 against the former team, he made his debut after replacing Dimitri Payet in the 78th minute of a 3-1 away victory in the 2018 FIFA World Cup qualification round. In doing so, he turned 18 and became the second youngest player, after Marian Wisniewski, to play for France. 5 days old and 3 months old. On August 31, 2017, Mbappé scored his first senior international goal against the Netherlands in a World Cup qualifying game. In a friendly match against Russia in March 2018, he scored twice. FIFA World Cup 2018. Mbappé was added to the France team on May 17, 2018, in preparation for the 2018 World Cup in Russia. He scored his first World Cup goal on June 21, 2018, as France defeated Peru 1-0 in the group stage. At the age of 19, he was the youngest French goal scorer in World Cup history. In a 4-3 victory over Argentina on June 30, 2018, he received the match's Man of the Match award after scoring twice and being fouled in the penalty area. Griezmann scored the first goal after taking the penalty. After Pelé in 1958, Mbappé became the second youngster to score 2 goals in a World Cup game. In a post-game press conference, Mbappé said, "Let's put things in context, Pelé is in another league. It's flattering to be the second one after Pelé. Mbappé scored a 25-yard goal against Croatia on July 15 in the 2018 World Cup final, which France won 4-2. With 4 goals in the competition, he won the FIFA World Cup Best Young Player award. He was the second teenager, after Pelé, to score in a World Cup final. On social media, Pelé welcomed him and posted his congratulations. Qualification for the UEFA Nations League in Euro 2020. Mbappé's 100th career goal came on June 11, 2019. During a 4-0 away victory against Andorra in Euro 2020 qualifying. Mbappé scored the lone goal for France in a 1-0 UEFA Nations League victory over Sweden on September 5, 2020. However, he tested positive for COVID-19 2 days after the game. On October 7, 2020, he returned to action for France in a 7-1 victory over Ukraine, a game in which he scored 1 goal and provided an assist. He scored the game-winning goal in a 2-1 victory over Croatia 1 week later. France won its Nations League group, advancing to the UEFA Nations League finals in 2021. 2020 UEFA Euro. The COVID-19 caused UEFA Euro 2020 to be postponed for a year. Pandemic. Mbappé received his call-up for the France team for UEFA Euro 2020, his second big international competition, on May 18, 2021. Mbappé participated in a group stage encounter against Germany on June 15 and scored 1 goal and later assisted another goal, both of which were ultimately determined to be offside. He assisted Karim Benzema in his first goal during France's round of 16 encounter against Switzerland on June 28. A penalty shootout was necessary to decide the match after a 3-3 tie. Mbappé was unable to convert the crucial 5th penalty, which resulted in France's elimination from the competition. Mbappé failed to score in any of France's 4 competition games. On October 7, 2021, Mbappé helped Benzema and the other team in the Nations League semi-final. Later, he added a goal of his own from the penalty spot to assist France in overturning Belgium 3-2 after falling behind. Mbappé, who is only 22 years and 9.5 months old, had his 50th appearance for Les Bleus in this game. 3 days later, in the championship game, he again assisted Benzema to equal the score and then scored the game-winning goal to help France defeat Spain 2-1 to win the championship for the first time. Mbappé won the Alipay Top Scorer trophy for the Nations League finals with 2 goals and 2 assists, earning him the competition's Golden Boot. France qualified for the 2022 World Cup after Mbappé scored 4 goals in an 8-0 victory over Kazakhstan on November 13 to make his World Cup debut. For the championship game, Mbappé's super hat-trick was his first for his nation and the first competitive hat-trick scored for France since Dominique Rocheteau in 1985. It included a 32-minute first-half hat-trick. 3 days later, in France's final World Cup qualifying match against Finland, Mbappé assisted Benzema 5 times in a row as the team won 2-0. FIFA World Cup 2022. On November 22, 2022, France's 2022 FIFA World Cup campaign in Qatar began with a matchup against Australia. Mbappé contributed to 3 of France's 4 goals in the game, which they won 4-1. He set up the second goal, headed in the third goal off an assist from Ousmane Dembélé, and set up Olivier Giroud for the fourth goal. A fourth objective. 4 days later, France defeated Denmark 2-1 to advance to the knockout rounds and end the World Cup champions' curse. Mbappé scored both of France's goals in that triumph. Mbappé scored twice as France defeated Poland 3-1 in the round of 16 of the knockout tournament, the first a curling strike into the top corner and the second a shot into the roof of the net from 16 yards. Mbappé became just the second player in history to score a hat-trick in a World Cup final following participation in France's victories over England and Morocco in the quarter and semi-finals. Despite France's overall defeat, Mbappé scored the opening goal in the penalty shootout as well. Mbappé scored 3 goals against Argentina in the championship game. After Geoff Hurst in England's 1966 win, this individual is only the second in World Cup history to accomplish this feat. He won the Golden Boot for his 8 goals. Mbappé became the first player in history to score 4 goals in a World Cup final with his hat-trick in the 2022 championship game. Arsène Wenger has called Mbappé a great football talent who reminds me of Thierry Henry. In addition to being likened to Pelé in the media, his brilliance and brash performances for France in the 2018 World Cup contributed to this. Mbappé is a skilled forward who can play on either flank. Thanks to his ability with both feet, he frequently plays as a winger. He has the ability to use his stronger side to cut into the center right foot from the left flank, and thanks to his vision, he can also make plays from the right and help teammates. Due to his poise, accuracy, and eye for goal, he can also play as the main striker in the center of the field. In addition to being a highly skilled player, Mbappé is renowned for his excellent dribbling skills, explosive acceleration, agility, quick feet, and creativity when in possession of the ball, as evidenced by his use of complex feints, such as step-overs, or abrupt changes in pace or direction to outwit opponents in one-on-one situations. He was a slim 17-year-old with natural physical strength and athleticism. He was 22 when he has grown physically into a premier goal striker. Along with his technical abilities, Mbappé is admired for his exceptional pace and close ball control when dribbling quickly, as well as for his superb movement, tactical acumen, and capacity to outwit defenders by making incisive runs into open spaces both on and off the ball. He can weaken the defenses of opponents by timing his runs, and he also poses a serious offensive threat during counterattacks. Nicolas Anelka, a former France international, claimed in April 2017 that Mbappé possessed the traits of a world-class player and that his ability to rush at defenses reminded him of Ronaldo from the 1996 Olympics. Mbappé was ranked as the world's fastest player in a list by the Le Figaro newspaper in France. Stéphane Defray, a central defender for Inter Milan in the Netherlands, chose Kylian Mbappé as his toughest opponent, placing him ahead of Mbappe's idol Cristiano Ronaldo. According to the C's, Mbappé was the most expensive footballer in the world in 2018 in terms of transfer value. As a Christian, Mbappé discussed his teenage sacrifices for his football growth in a 2018 interview with Time, saying, "I did not have the moments of so-called normal people during adolescence, like going out with friends, enjoying nice times. However, Mbappé claims that despite losing out on a normal life, he is living the life he always dreamed of. 4 years and a little more after making he had amassed over 50 million Instagram followers by the time of his professional debut. Although he acknowledges that after initially coming to public attention, his life has been utterly flipped upside down, he claims to be glad. Ethan Kylian, the brother of Kylian, signed a aspiring contract on June 25, 2021, with Paris Saint-Germain that would extend until 2024. Publicity and sponsorship. Nike, a provider of athletic apparel and equipment, endorses Mbappé. At the age of 18, Nike released the Kylian Mbappé Nike Hypervenom 3 football footwear in recognition of his extraordinary skill. He revealed the Nike Mercurial Superfly Vi boots in 2018, which were modeled after Ronaldo's R9 Mercurial boots from his time as a Brazilian striker. Hublot, a Swiss wristwatch, appointed Mbappé as a global ambassador in 2018. Mbappe's qualities in the FIFA video game series from EA Sports, his potential rating in FIFA 18 was the highest at 94. His younger brother Ethan, who would do the same while defeating Kylian at FIFA, served as the inspiration for his signature goal celebration, which entails posing with his arms folded and hands tucked under his armpits. In FIFA 19, the celebration can be seen. Mbappé is the youngest person to be on the cover alone of FIFA 21 and is featured as the game's cover star. Mbappé met with French President Emmanuel Macron and FIFA President Gianni Infantino at the Élysée Palace on February 22, 2018, along with two of Africa's best strikers, former AC Milan forward and current Liberia president George Weah and former Chelsea and Ivory Coast forward Didier Drogba. In Paris that concentrated on a mission to enhance sports in Africa. Mbop claimed that because his parents are of African descent, he cares deeply about the growth of African sport. A crowdfunding effort to fund a private search operation to find football player Emiliano Sala, whose light aircraft had vanished over the English Channel a week earlier, received a $34,000, about PS $26,000, donation from Mbop on January 28, 2019. Later, on February 10, 2019, Mbop contributed an additional PS $27,000 to the GoFundMe effort started to finance the hunt for the aircraft's still missing pilot, David Ibben.